Hello everybody. Same day, different video. This is the same day that I recorded and dropped my last video, Fragrances That Attracts the Ladies Part 2. But today, oh, and by the way, Happy Cinco de Mayo everybody. I didn't wish everybody Happy Cinco de Mayo on my first video that I did today. So I didn't get any margaritas this year today, but I normally, have a family member of mine who make them and put that salt around the glass, and we get busy. Today, though, I want to talk about the fragrances that I've been wearing within this last week. Now, I mainly wanted to do from Sunday through Saturday, but I'm gonna go ahead and do from Sunday all the way up until today to tell y'all what I was wearing today. And I'm gonna start out with Sunday. Now, my first fragrance that I have, this is a fragrance that came and left. I mean, you might know what I'm talking about by me telling you the story. I'm not sure if this happened with multiple fragrances or not, but I never heard of this happening with any other fragrance. But this fragrance dropped, and then you could no longer find it. Now, I purchased it as soon as it dropped, and I guess I was one of the lucky ones. So I'm going to say this one right here. Now, I think you can still find it, but people, they charging like high prices. But it's YSL Blue Electric. Now, I blind bought this, of course, and the reason what prompted me to buy this fragrance is because before this came out, I kind of had my eye on YSL O Electric. I had ordered a sample of that, and I kind of like that smell. It was in the same, in my opinion, it was in the same family as Versace Eros. So I had plans to get that one, and I don't think you can even find that one anywhere. But this is Blue Electric, and it's something that I definitely think you can wear in the warmer months. You can wear it in the fall as well. Okay, it does have a nice smell. I wouldn't say it's one of my best fragrances, because if it was, the dent on this juice would probably be a lot lower. Okay, now don't get me wrong, I do have some fragrances that are some of my best fragrances, and it still looks like almost a full bottle because I rotate my fragrances a lot. So I typically don't wear the same fragrance 2 days in a row. So that's one of the reasons. But if I really, 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 really like a fragrance, I might wear it two days in a week, like twice a week, 2 to 3 times in a week, or or spray it a lot on my skin. But I'm gonna say Blue Electric definitely is a nice fragrance, and I know for a fact that it sets me apart. It will set you, if you have this fragrance, it will definitely set you apart from what everybody else is wearing, because 9 times out of 10, there's no one in your circle that has this fragrance, unless I'm in your circle. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not in, I don't think any of my friends have this fragrance. I do have a friend that's into fragrances heavily, but I don't think he has this one. Seriously doubt it. I'm almost sure, 100% sure. I wore this on not yesterday, but the Sunday before. I'm going from last Sunday all the way up until today. All right. Last Monday, I wore, and I think I was off that day too, so I enjoyed this one, Afnan Tarati Blue. Now, if you've been watching my first few videos I've been dropping, you already know that this is a clone of Bulgari Tiger, okay? I say, go smell Bulgari Tiger, see how you like it. If you like it enough to get that fragrance, I say get that one. If you feel like that fragrance is a little too high, too pricey, I say you can't really this one smells nice, okay? If you like Bulgari Tiger, you bound to like this one. I mean, very similar smells, okay? It has that grapefruit. It is definitely for the spring and the summertime. I love this stuff, you know. Y'all probably know by now, like I like smells like this. Like the grapefruit, you know, anything that smells like this, or Bulgari Tiger, and you know what other fragrance I'm talking about too. I don't want to say it. I'm going to say it. Suspiro Vibrato, okay? I mean, I know y'all gonna get tired of hearing me talking about Suspiro Vibrato. One of y'all probably gonna even send me a free sample. I'm like, a free bottle. I'm like, you know what? Here, I'm gonna send it to you. You keep talking about that. I hope Suspiro does that. I hope the company does that, but they won't. They, you know, it wouldn't hurt the ass. All right. So my next fragrance. So I wore this one on Monday. Okay. So Tuesday, I went with Cedrat Boise Intense, and oof. And I got complimented on this fragrance by a nice young lady when I wore it. She just told me I was in the store. She was in the. We was in the same store, and she just told me I smell nice. You know, this one I like the intense version. I do have some samples of the original. I was looking for it, and I said, you know what? Let me go back to the original and spray that on and see how I like it. But like I told y'all before in one of my first few videos, I really didn't get into this fragrance until the intense version came out, even though they smell very similar. But it's something about this one, okay? This fresh smell, man, I'm telling you, y'all ought to go to the store, get your nose on this one if you haven't already. You know, I'm gonna stop assuming that everybody that's watching my video have been watching other videos and know about a lot of different fragrances. But if you subscribe to mine, I might assume that maybe you subscribe to others as well. I don't know. But Mancera Cedrat Boise Intense. That's what I wore on Tuesday of this past week. Okay. Wednesday, I went with YSL Lone. Love this fragrance. You know, I forgot how good this one actually smelled. Okay. I bought this some years ago. Okay. And I was wearing it when I first bought it. And then as I was getting more into fragrances, okay, I kind of put this aside, let it collect some dust, okay, and started, wearing other fragrances. Then I went back to this one, okay. I went back to this fragrance one day, and I was like, dang, this one, like, how did I even forget about this one? So I'm starting to put this in my rotation again, okay. The nice smell, that nice fresh smell, has some ginger in it. This one is slightly sweet, but it's not feminine sweet. It's, and this one does attract the ladies as well. A lady had complimented this fragrance, so I'm telling you, this is what I wore on Wednesday of this past week. YSL Lone. And it's still, even though it's been out for a while, but it's still doing it today. Like, you can still wear it today, and it would be easy on the nose. Like how the fellas, when we see some females that we like, easy on the eyes, attractive women, this is easy on the nose, okay? All right. Thursday, I went with Acqua di Gio Profondo, okay? Now, I had this one for a while. Now, I hear the new, I hear that they reformulated, released it again, or they redid it. I haven't smelt the newer version. I thought about taking a trip to the Macy's, my local Macy's, and seeing if there's a difference in the smell, okay? Now this one right here is just a regular, this is the Eau de Parfum version, okay, of Acqua di Gio Profondo. I believe they have an intense version or something like that. I don't have that one, never smelt that one. But I do want to go smell Profondo in the stores. I heard they reformulated it. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but that's what I've been told. This definitely has that mineral smell to it, mineralic or something like that smell to it. And it's a nice smell, something that you can really wear in the summertime. And I wore this past Thursday. I wore this fragrance Thursday. Friday, I went with Roja Elysium, okay? This, you know, I don't go too heavy on the sprays with this. I sprayed on 4 times max. I think Friday though I do think I threw in a 5th spray just to see what it does, but I'm not gonna do any more than that because Roja Elysium to me is perfect with 4 sprays. It was actually kind of perfect with 5, but I'm not going to 6 because I have oversprayed this before and it wasn't pleasing to my nose, to be honest with you. So with me on my skin chemistry, I give it about 4 sprays. Now you can smell like the vetiver coming out of this. This is a nice fresh smell, a classic summer scent, y'all. I'm telling you, like Roja Elysium, you need to get your, if you haven't, you need to get your nose on this one. You know, I put one of my boys up on this one, but truth be told, now this is a lady killer, but it doesn't mean that every female is gonna like it. So his lady didn't like it, so he ended up not getting it. But he did like it. He was gonna purchase it. But his lady said it wasn't doing nothing for her. But that's her, you know what I'm saying? Each female is different. But for the most part, though, the ladies are definitely gonna like this fragrance. And this is what I wore this past Friday. Okay. Saturday, I'm going to tell you, I went ahead and finished my sample of Polo Eau de Parfum. Polo 67 Eau de Parfum. As you can see, before I told y'all I had one more use out of it. I finished that up. And I do enjoy this fragrance. This is a fresh fragrance. This one lasts on my skin longer than the Eau de Toilette. This is an all day last on my skin, okay? Lasted on my skin all day. There's a nice fresh smell. Something that you can, you know, it could be a signature scent, you know. It's something you can throw on every day without thinking about, like if you're in a situation, like when you rushing out and you don't know what you want to wear, you cannot go wrong with just throwing on Polo 67. And now, in my opinion, this smell is an all-purpose smell. Like you can wear it at any given time. You can wear it to work. You can wear it on a date. You can wear it casually, just hanging out on a weekend, on a Saturday. You know, to me, like you can't go wrong with this fragrance. Okay, Polo 67. That's one of the fragrances that I would like to eventually get in my collection. Okay, but like I said earlier today on my first video, today that is, I can't just go out and buy everything. You know, I need to, you know, figure out which ones I want the most. Well, everyone knows by now which one I really want the most. But if I can't get that, you know, I might get Polo 67 or something else. You know what I mean? It all depends. It depends. But Polo 67, I like it. It's new, okay? And that's what I like about it as well. It's new. Now, Sunday, I didn't necessarily throw on a cologne, okay? I threw on an oil actually. Now I don't really typically wear oils. I mostly wear colognes. But since I'm telling y'all what I wore within this past week, I might as well go ahead and throw this one in and tell y'all about it. I'm not sure where you can find it now. I don't, you know, if you go, I did ask somebody within this last year at an oil stand if they had this oil, and they never heard of it. So I bought it when I went to this outside event one year, and people, you know, they had the tables out there too, and they was selling their little stuff. And this is oil, and it's called Bold. Okay, now this one, straight masculine. Oh my goodness. This one smells good, okay? So that's what I wore this is what I wore on Sunday, yesterday. Bold. An oil called Bold. Now you're not gonna hear too much about, you're not gonna really hear about oils on this channel, but the only reason I'm throwing this in is because this is actually something that I wore yesterday, Sunday. And the fragrance that I wore today on Cinco de Mayo, okay, I decided to go with a Creed, okay. Now I got this Creed, and it was called Original Santal. I got me a little sample, free sample of it from the Creed lady at my local Macy's, okay. An Original Santal. I should have bought my other fragrance over here too, because everyone, you know, if you've been watching videos, you know fragrances. This smells like Mont Blanc Individual, okay? Smells just, you know, they're very close. But this one now Mont Blanc Individual is very nice. It smells high quality, as well as this one. This one, I could tell you right now, now throughout the day, like right now, I don't really smell it, okay? But it did last throughout the day on my skin, okay? I could say I got at least a good 8 hours today. And I was getting whiffs of it throughout the day, you know, but right now on my arm, like I barely smell it. It became, excuse me, y'all, excuse me. It became a skin scent after a while. Like when I first sprayed it, I smelt it popping off my skin a little bit, but I could tell it was going to tone down and became a skin scent. But even when it was a skin scent, I was still smelling it, you know, when I turned here and there, I was still smelling it throughout the day. So this one does last on my skin throughout the day, but it just doesn't last all the way into the night. You know, like some fragrances I know that I have does, okay? So this is what I'm wearing today. This is my scent. I barely smell, I smell it a little bit, but I don't, you know, it tones down, but it's still a long-lasting scent. It just becomes a skin scent, that's all. So Original Santal by Creed is my scent that I wore today, okay? Now this video that I'm making today, I'm not going to drop this until tomorrow. This is going to come out tomorrow, okay? So be on the lookout for that. I don't know what time I'm gonna have it drop. I've got to figure that out once these cameras come off. But this is my list, my fragrances that I wore within this past week. Y'all have a good night, and then happy Cinco de Mayo, and I will see y'all on my next video.